I was sipping coffee on my porch when the notice came, big red letters, stamped, "Final warning. Remove your cabin immediately." It read, "You're in violation of HOA jurisdiction." I almost laughed. My land sat outside their little community line, clearly marked since my granddad bought it 50 years ago. But when I walked over to the HOA office to clear things up, Karen, the self-appointed queen of the board, was waiting with a smirk. "You can't live here," she said, waving the paper in my face. "We've decided your cabin ruins our neighborhood's aesthetic." "Your neighborhood?" I asked, raising a brow. "Karen, my land isn't even under your HOA." She scoffed. "We checked the maps. Everything within half a mile is under us now. Including your shack." I didn't argue, just nodded slowly and said, "All right then. Let's see those maps." A week later, I got surveyors, real professionals, to mark every inch of my property. When they handed me the report, I couldn't help but grin. Turns out, not only was my land outside the HOA boundary, but their entire main street crossed 20 feet into mine. I printed the documents and walked straight into their next meeting. Karen was in mid-speech about removing unauthorized structures, when I dropped the file on the table. "You might want to check page 3, I said quietly. The room went dead silent. Karen flipped through the report, her face draining of color. "Greater than, you mean, our street is built on my land," I finished for her. "And every driveway, mailbox, and sign you've put up, technically trespassing." The silence turned into panic. Board members started whispering, phones came out, one guy even muttered, "Oh, we're screwed." Karen stood up, stammering, You can't enforce this." I smiled. "Maybe not, but I can charge rent." The next morning, I posted a bright yellow sign at the entrance of their street. "Private property, access by owner's permission only." By noon, the HOA was begging to work something out. But for the first time, I was the one setting the rules. By the next day, the whole neighborhood was in chaos. HOA members crowded in front of my gate, waving papers, shouting legal threats they barely understood. Karen stood at the center, her voice trembling between anger and panic. "You can't block the road," she yelled. "Families live here." I leaned against my truck, arms crossed. "Then maybe you should have checked your maps before trying to evict me." Behind her, one of the residents, a man named Paul, spoke up quietly, "Karen, he's right. The county records show this road as his property line. We built through it years ago." Karen spun on him like a viper. "Stay out of this, Paul." But it was too late. People were turning on her. I could see it, neighbors whispering, phones lighting up, the power slipping right through her fingers. The HOA had ruled this place for years like a little kingdom, but now the cracks were showing. Then the sheriff's truck pulled up. Karen's smirk returned instantly. "Finally," she said, "Officer, arrest this man for blocking public access." The sheriff looked at me, then at her, holding up the survey report I'd filed earlier. "Karen, this road's not public. It's his land. Yours is built across it illegally." Her face froze. "That can't be true." The sheriff sighed. "You folks have been trespassing for over a decade. Honestly, he's being generous not pressing charges." Karen's jaw dropped. The crowd went silent. "Greater than, so," I said calmly, "either you all remove your signs and follow the new access agreement, or I start billing rent for every square foot of my land you're using." Paul spoke again, this time louder, "Let's just pay him and be done with it. He's got every right." Karen looked around, realizing no one was backing her anymore. Her power, gone. As the sheriff drove off, I turned to her one last time. "Next time, Karen, maybe think twice before trying to push someone off their own land." She didn't reply, just stood there, clutching her clipboard, while I hung a new sign over her old HOA board. "Property under new management, owner approved." And for the first time in years, peace settled over that road, because the neighborhood finally learned who really owned it. 2 weeks later, things got even wilder. Karen wasn't done, she never was. After losing the road battle, she started sending out